Okay, by special request, my niece requested me to do this, so she wanted me to review it. It is The Conjuring 2. I probably should review the original Conjuring, and I'll probably do that right after this video. Okay, Conjuring 2. It takes place. Up to this point, you see the ghost hunters or the Catholic that are commissioned by the Catholic Church to investigate these paranormal investigators are on this film, and we get to kind of see them develop more as characters. And I gotta say, starting off, that The Conjuring 2 is definitely it's not anything original or anything, but I really like this movie. This movie is actually really good. It doesn't really, son, really, really, honestly, I'm not kidding around. There's jump scare after jump scare. There's some really good scares on this movie, and I so it takes place in a real, of course, all these movies are based on a true story. But you notice that lately most movies are based on a true story nowadays, right? Either they're reboots or graphic novels or something like that, right? Don't you notice that? Anyways, okay, so it takes place in the UK. This family on this block. It's a well documented case by the Catholic Church, by the Roman Catholic Church, and of course those who documented the incident. And this little girl's being haunted by this supposedly evil ghost of a man who died inside the house. This older guy, and there's a lot of really good scares in this film. Like I said, they try to communicate him in one part of the film, and he's there's some really well placed as well riddles on this movie. He's trying to tell people that it's not really him who's doing the haunting, who's really the protagonist of this movie. It's really actually the nun we see on this movie. Man, she must, what a lovely singing voice she must have. Just kidding around. And okay, and I gotta say that's a really creepy looking nun, by the way. It kind of, if you were expecting the flying nun, you're probably not gonna get it. All right, I'm sorry, guys. So this movie it does not give you time to rest on this movie, because where a lot of movies get caught up in a lot the pacing's really slow, boring. This movie is just unrelenting force of nature. Okay, it's like if Paranormal Activity actually had a lot of stuff going on, this movie would probably kill it in a couple minutes. So, The Conjuring 2 is a really good film, and I want to share before I close this video on some of the paranormal experiences I've had growing up. Okay, so this review might be a little bit long, but stick around because I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of some of the stuff I've dealt with in my time. Because evil spirits do exist. By the way, I just want to share that right now. I'm not going to play around, okay? But I'm going to rate this movie. Okay, I give this movie a 9 out of 10 because it is on execution, on thrills, on execution, on the pacing, as well as the actors. Everybody does a great job because you really love these two paranormal investigators. You kind of love this couple. You don't want them to get killed on this movie because there's a couple things happening on this movie where they're trying to kill the guy, the original guy from the original Conjuring, because he of course, because he's clairvoyant. And so you love all the characters, especially, so you hate some of the characters as well as the skeptic on this movie, this lady who. There's a really good scene I just want to share, but before I end this review, there's a really good scene where the little girl has to rig the haunted house attack, the haunting. The evil spirit tells her she has to destroy her kitchen, and then they catch it on camera. And of course, the skeptic lady says, basically to piss off, she's not buying it. You just want to slap her. And so like I said, this movie's pretty awesome. It's not anything original, by the any stretch of the imagination. But it's really good. It's a really good time. It scares the living hell out of you. Okay, all right. I want to share some of the stuff I've dealt with in my time as far as paranormal activity in my life. You know that stuff where they say that usually when you see something over your shoulder, it's probably you're probably actually there's something there behind you. Okay, I want to share like a couple stuff like I've gone through. Okay, I've actually this is a couple years ago. Me and a friend of mine were arguing. We had been doing, we were out doing something, and we had started to. We met this 14-year-old. He was actually I think 21 years old, and he claimed that he was actually 14, but when he wasn't, and he started coming to. He started hanging out around us a little bit, and what I noticed about him was that he had like scars on his all the time. I would always see scars on his like bruises on his hands and his arms, and he had these eyes. I'm not kidding around. Everything I'm gonna tell you guys right now is real. He and he was the strangest little kid because there's a we picked him up one time. He was with his girlfriend, and he was reading this book on Jack the Ripper, and he thought it was a really cute book. It was really funny to him. He thought it was just the best thing in the world. And and I'm going to cut to the chase with what probably one of the most surreal moments in my whole life, because I'm going to tell you guys a couple more. He called a friend of mine. We had been arguing. I forgot what the hell we were arguing about, anyways. Because I lived in the same building as one of my closest friends, and he answered the phone. It was on private, and I guess he said he was talking to the person. He said, "Why don't you talk to my friend?" And what I heard on the phone, I kid you not, I've never heard anything like that. I've seen a lot of horror movies. I've seen a lot of movies. I even heard music that was demonic or so supposedly. This is probably the most horrifying thing I've ever experienced in my life because basically that kid was demon possessed. And being from where I'm from, you actually see a lot of that on the street. Actually, what rational people tend to share about that these people are actually just mentally disturbed. No, that's not entirely accurate. Okay, I have people that'll tell you that demon possession is real. Okay, and The Conjuring is not just some really clever horror film, and it's a reality. And I just want to tell you guys that. I mean, if I scare some of you, if I provoke some of you to go to church or something like that, it's real, and and um, this kid had the darkest black eyes I've ever seen. His eyelids were dark, and he was always beat up every time we saw him. When he showed up to hang out with us for a little while, and he disappeared. Actually, he was caught. I think he was robbing or something, and we never saw him again. And that's probably probably the most what I felt at the moment when I heard that ungodly voice on the phone is just nothing. No human being on the planet, no horror film could duplicate it. It was just horrible. Yeah, all I could make out a little bit was that he was telling me, "Why are you bothering him?" So it's like I kind of understood a little bit about that because that's pretty much what I heard on the. We realized that he was demon possessed because another friend of mine, had invited him to the house, and he had done something. I don't know what it was. And my friend looked at me. He pulled up in his car, and he got out of his car. And he was like, "I'm not inviting that guy ever again anywhere near my family. He's not coming to my house." And I was like, "What is he talking about?" He was like, "Oh, him." And I was just, that guy was pitch white. Okay, he's Mexican. He was pitch white, guys. And those of you watching this video, please share and comment on this video. And if you have any paranormal experience, I'm going to share a couple more. But there's not really. They're kind of just minor ones. I've had like instances where I was working out in my a basement. I used to work out when I was a little bit younger. I worked out in my basement in Milwaukee, actually, and I was, I don't know, I was just working out, and then I kind of heard something in inside the room repeat what I said. I don't remember what the hell I said though. I think I was angry. Something happened with the lights or something, and I heard something. And there was nobody in the house that I know that plays pranks because I have a lot of little nephews. They're older now that like to play pranks. This was years ago too, as well, by the way. And I heard voices. I keep in mind that I'm an ex-alcoholic. I was a big time drunk. I was very sober at the time. There was nobody there except my sister's mother-in-law, and actually the one of the kids that I know that was known for playing pranks, known as Alex. He was notorious for that, as well as his uncle Friday. And but there was nobody there at that moment, and I clearly, as I'm talking on this video, I heard somebody repeat what I said. It was weird. And there's also another one, a really short one, because like I said, a lot of these hauntings are actually not very, they're not ongoing stuff, but I was sitting with my sister. I don't know. I had nothing to do that night. I hadn't gone out or party or nothing like that. I was just chilling with my sister watching Blade. And we heard, she had told me there was a boy, a 14-year-old boy, haunting her inside in the basement where the washers and dryers were at in the apartment complex before she moved the house. And she was telling me, because she could just kind of see his body, his torso, his neck up to his neck, and she didn't really see him. And he just kind of it wasn't an evil spirit of any kind. I don't know, because depending on the kind of haunting that you're experiencing, and he kind of just would scare the living daylights out of her. And okay, we were sitting down watching. She has like a kind of like a balcony facing right there in the backyard, right? And the door's over here. There's a second door, and we heard somebody kick the door seriously up the balcony. I kid you not. I'm not lying about any of this stuff. I like to play around in my videos a lot, but I'm not playing around at all. I'm as serious as possible as I could be. And it kicked the door. It's just like just say if I kicked something right now. It sounded a little bit like that. But I opened the door. I opened the other door. There was nothing there. It was a dark night. Just kind of like a horror movie a little bit. But that's all I could tell you guys. And there's also another haunting that took place in Milwaukee. My sister, she had my oldest nephew known as Nick. At the time, we were living inside this. There are a lot of the houses in Milwaukee are built very strange. This because it's Midwest. So the house was kind of slanted a little bit. The floor was a little bit slanted because I guess there had been a drug raid there years before. Keep in mind there was a drug raid. So the floor was kind of slanted a little bit because of the damage that when they do a drug raid or something like that, whatever the SWAT. And my sister had been saying that she heard some old guy telling her he was going to come and get her. That I don't know if he said he was going to kill her. She would hear voices at night when she was alone, and she claimed that the man was located inside this closet. It kind of had like this, like this. How do you say like this door, little board door right there? It's like kind of like a board. There's nothing there. All you can see is just dust. Nothing there, right? And I had come back with. I was young at the time, and with my mother and my sister, and she was in the middle of the living room with Nick. Nick was about 2 years old, maybe, and she was just crying the tears in the middle of the living room. She had him really close to her. She had claimed to us to tell us that he was. That man said he was going to come and get them. And she kept hearing. I think she had said that he was coming for you guys right now, and because they had been by themselves for hours. I forgot what the hell I was doing that day, but okay, yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys some of my paranormal experiences growing up. I've had many, like the time the radio turned by, the lights turned off. We were being they were babysitting us. I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old at the time, and the radio turned on by itself, and the knob turned. You know, a lot of us experience stuff like that. So a lot of times we get skeptics. You know, people that like to piss on us a lot about this stuff, but yeah, this stuff is real. It's real. I just want to tell anybody that views this video, ghost hauntings, evil spirits are real. Okay, I'm not, like I said, I like to fool around. Kind of a goofy guy, really slice it, but I'm very serious on this to end this video. Okay, and like I said, if you like, subscribe to this channel and comment on this video, and I'll see you guys real soon. All right, you guys. I'll see you soon, man. I hope I scared the crap out of you.